It was 15 years ago that Meera Estrada suffered her first seizure. She was on a Caribbean cruise with her then boyfriend when everything went black. It was a day that would change her life after doctors diagnosed her with epilepsy. This Sunday marks Purple Day, aimed at raising awareness about the disorder. And Meera joins us this morning. Welcome back to the studio. Normally, you and I are talking beauty.
Yes.
We're talking about something a little more personal today.
Yes, a lot more personal today.
When you were on that cruise, you don't remember having the seizure. You described it as going black, but what do you remember?
So I remember it was day 2 of the cruise, and my now husband, then boyfriend, we were gonna rent scooters for the day. And back then I used to always wear heels. He's like, "You're gonna wear those heels?" That was the last thing. I woke up, I was in a hospital bed.
Wow.
Oxygen, like everything attached to myself. I remember the doctor said, "Do you know your name?" I knew my name. "Do you know the month?" No. "Do you know where you are?" No. I didn't know anything.
You must have been terrified.
And I actually felt like I was gonna die because like something very bad has happened. And I remember praying to God because I could see John and I knew him, but I didn't know anything else. And I just thought, please don't let this be the end. I want more. I want more life.
Wow. There's no cure for epilepsy, which is what they told you had. There are available treatments, but they all affect patients very differently. And there are some serious consequences that can come from some of them and from changing medications as you try to figure it out.
For sure.
What have you lived with since then?
Yeah, so the meds is probably one of the most difficult parts because they are harsh medications and they have a lot of side effects. It took me probably about 2 years.
2 years.
To find the right set of medications. And then during COVID, and sometimes I've had probably 20 tonic-clonic seizures now. And that's where, you just hit the ground convulsing and shaking. There's so many different kinds. But during COVID, my seizures ramped up. I guess stress and sleep are my triggers. And so I had to start a new medication. And it took me, lost my driver's license again. I've lost it 3 times now. And yeah, it just took me a long, long time, probably about a year to find the right medication again.
Your last seizure, I think you said, was around 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And do you know yet, like, you mentioned some of your triggers are stress and sleep, but can you predict at this point what's going to happen and when?
No, and so some people have an aura. I have nothing. So I remember just brushing my teeth, and then all of a sudden, next thing, I am on the floor. And it's hard because I have young kids now, and I've had them so many times that now my kids have seen it too. And I think that's one of the things. This is a family disorder. My husband is always on alert if anything falls, like to come running.
Wow.
My son, I remember last time he said, I heard him say to my husband, and this was one of the hardest things, he said, "Mommy, do you know, Daddy's like, do you know I practice running up and down the stairs as fast as I can so I can save Mommy."
Oh.
And it's for a 10-year-old to carry that, it's hard, and you feel a lot of guilt around it as well.
Like so often with diseases like this, it affects the entire family, as well as the person living with it. In the last 15 years, you have seen firsthand the stigma and misconceptions that exist around epilepsy. 300,000 Canadians.
Yes.
This is a number that was new to me. Live with it. So ahead of Purple Day, what do you want everybody to be thinking about?
I want them to know, to see the person, to educate yourself, because there are so many misconceptions. People think, we aren't as smart as other people. Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, Da Vinci, my favorite Prince, these people all had epilepsy.
Really?
We can do so many things. Learn what you can do if you see somebody having a seizure. And especially for kids, it's really hard for children who sometimes have focal seizures where they just, black out or stare into space. For kids just to also be kind and be empathetic to everybody.
Meera, thank you for coming on and talking about this portion of your life. It's great to have you here as an expert guest, but I really liked hearing about your lived experience as well and raising some really important awareness. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.